This was what just highlighted to me, and I didn't think of it this way. But this is a story of Deborah and Barak. And this particular situation, so this happens in Judges chapter 4. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there's a situation here where Barak, I probably said his name completely wrong. Anyway, if you've watched this channel around, you'll know I'm not very good at pronouncing words. But anyway, Barak, um, so God's basically given him this commandment, and Barak's like, you know what, I'll only go, Deborah, if you go. And when you look at it, you think, oh, it's because he values her. He values her as an individual and as a leader. But actually, it shows how weak faith Barak was, because God literally promised the victory, but he still didn't have that faith. So he asked Deborah to come along, which I never noticed that before. It's amazing with the Bible, because you can read so many different commentaries, you can read so many different parts of the Bible, and something jumps out at you and you think, oh, I never saw that before. So it got me so it got me thinking that, like, sometimes even God will make promises to us. He may tell us to do things and there's rewards with doing it, or promises that it's okay, it's gonna be great, I'll be with you all the way. But then sometimes we think we're very weak, even though God has promised this will happen if we do this or that sort of thing. But even sometimes in our heart, in ourselves, we can be kind of like weak in faith and think, are you sure, God? Are you sure you want me to do this? Do you know me? Like that kind of thing. Sometimes the enemy will come in and like whisper in your ear and be like, yo, really? Do you really think you can do this? Or whatever he whispers in a voice. Or sometimes it's our own insecurities that we think, you know what, I'm gonna ask somebody else to do it, or I'm gonna ask somebody else for help, which is nothing wrong with asking people for help. But as I said, if God specifically told you to do a particular thing, then it's because he knows you're gonna do it and he knows it's gonna be fine. Like, it's not gonna be, he wouldn't have asked you otherwise if he thought you could be rubbish at the job or whatever, or if he wasn't behind you or anything. If whenever God asks you to do something, it's because he knows that it's going to be successful. It's either going to bless somebody, or it's going to kind of show his strength through you. But it's just kind of like because we always think about, well, I used to think about the story how it was more so as a thing as he respected her and stuff, and actually it makes sense when Deborah says that I will come, but I'll read it in a minute. But Deborah says, I will come, but victory will be in a woman's hand, and it ended up being in a woman's hand. So I'm gonna read, as I said, Judges chapter 4, and I'm gonna read from verse 8. And Barak said to her, if you will go with me, then I will go. But if you will not go with me, I will not go. So she said, I will surely go with you. Nevertheless, there will be no glory for you in the journey you are taking. For the Lord will sell Sisera into the hands of a woman. So, yeah, if you've not read the story, the victory does go towards a woman. So it's like, in essence, God's basically taking this, is not taking the promise away, but he's kind of taking the victory from Barak because of his lack of, trust in God, even though there was going to be a victory anyway. So it's kind of like a little bit of a kind of consequence for that. But anyway.